Alright, let's talk about tires again. Tires are one of the few items that require periodic attention. Every 4 or 5 years or so, or every 50 to 60,000 miles or so, the tires usually will wear out and you need to replace them. So for the tires, the topic that I wanted to cover, the importance of the tire, the size of the tire, how you find the performance ratings of the tire, and also look at the tread wear, how to measure the tread wear of the tire, and also the information about state inspection, what they're looking for, the inspectors when you go to an inspection on an annual basis, and also the spare tires and some emergency tools that that's in the car, and also how to change a spare tire. So tires are important because the friction between the tire and the road surface literally propels you forward or backward. A good tire really not only needs to provide traction in a dry and sunny day, but also they need to provide adequate traction in a rainy day, on snow, on ice, because otherwise you will be spinning your tires, literally. So let's start with the size of the tire. Usually you will find the size of the tire that your car needs either at the door, or the driver's side door, or at the B-pillar. Let me show you that information. So we were here before. Now we're going to look at a different label. So this is the tire label, and you can see it tells you that you need a tire at the front and the rear and the spare tires. Let me zoom in a little bit. So the front tires is P215/55R17, and rear is the same size, and you have the spare which is T155/70D17. In this label there are other information that you need to look at it, which is the inflation pressure for all the tires that's on the car that need to be inflated to 35 psi, and for the spare tire it's a 60 psi. Alright, now let me try to explain what the size means. I taught you before about how to read the sidewall information. So this is the tire that's on the car. You can see we have a 215/55R17. Right, so this is our the size that matches the label. You do not want to put a wrong size of the tire. The 215 is the width of the tire. So that's from this end to this end. That's the width of the tire, and that, I believe that's in millimeters. And the 55 over here is essentially the height of the tire expressed in percentage of the width. You mean the height of the tire from the rim to the top of the tread. That's about 55% of the width. And R stands for it's radial tire, and all cars have radial tires. And 17 is in inches, so meaning that this rim, this wheel, the silver portion of it, that's 17 inches in diameter. So that's what the size means. Now you can see right behind the tire size there's another label. It's 94V. 94, this is a weight rating. Alright, so you do not want to go below this number. This number means that this is the proper load that tires can carry. You need to check the user manual, the car manual, and make sure the minimum number of this. The higher the number is, the more weight the tires can carry. and the letter V is the speed rating. So usually it goes from T to Z, I believe, and from in that order, and that's the highest. The higher the letter goes to Z, the higher the speed rating the tire is, meaning that the tire can run at higher and higher speed. The letter V, I believe, it can run to about 130 miles per hour. You can check. I'm not positive, but you can check. So these are the proper sizes. You want to look at, this is not only this part of the size, but also this part of the size as well, the weight rating and the speed rating, and that's all in the size of the tire. Now, not all tires are made equal, and so the government has a guide for the performance rating. All right, so let's find that on the sidewall of the tire. Okay, now let's go upside down. Let's look at that. So typically, there's a tread wear rating there. I think this number right behind it is a 600, and there's a traction, which is A, and there's temperature, also is rated A. Now let's talk about that. The traction rating, the 600, what does that mean? So the government has a baseline tire, and it measures how long the tread would wear down for certain miles, for certain mileage. So the 600 means that this tire is wears 6 times more longer than the baseline tire. So the higher the number is, the more resistant the tread wear would be. Now keep in mind that the higher the number is, the harder the rubber would be, and you want a soft rubber rather than hard rubber that gives you more traction. So it's a compromise. Usually 600 is a good number. And when we talk about the traction, so the traction, the top rating is AA, and then A and then B and C. So you wanted to have at least an A. You do not want to get a B. So the AA is the top rating, then A and B and C. This tire is A, so it's only second to the AA rating. And for temperature here, temperature means that when you run the tire on the freeway, the temperature of the tire will increase. And how fast it increases, that gives you the performance of that. You do not want that temperature to rise quickly. And that rating, it starts from A and then go down to B and then go down to C. You can get A. The minimum you want to get is a B. You do not want to get a C. I doubt that they sell any tires on the C rating. So these are the performance ratings of the tire. So when you buy tires, you need to pay attention to these ratings. You want to put good tires on it because literally your life depends on it in inclement weather and other adverse road conditions. And the other thing that I believe you already know, the manufacturing date of the tire. So let's look at that. So this is 13/16, which is the 13th week of 2016. So this tire essentially is about 4 years old, right? And so that's about that.